Have you ever met a woman who seems amazing, but no matter what you do, she just doesn't seem interested? You try being kind, you try showing attention, and yet the more effort you give, the more distant she becomes. What if I told you that it's not about doing the wrong things, it's about doing the right things in the wrong order? Today, I'm going to reveal the hidden psychological triggers that make a woman feel desire, even when she seems completely uninterested. Welcome to Dark Feminine Insight, where we dive deep into the hidden psychology of attraction. Today, we're uncovering the secrets that make a woman feel desire for you, even when she seems completely uninterested. Here's what most men miss. You're probably not doing anything wrong, you're just doing the right things in the wrong order. Attraction doesn't follow logic, it follows feeling. Today, I'll walk you through 7 psychological triggers that naturally spark desire. And a heads up, the last one is extremely powerful. It can change everything almost instantly, yet almost nobody uses it the right way. Before we dive in, you need to hear this. None of this is your fault. No one taught you growing up. School didn't explain it, society didn't explain it. Female attraction isn't about reasoning or proving your worth. It's emotional. While you were trying to convince her with words, her deeper mind was reacting to signals you weren't even aware of. Science shows attraction often comes from mental shortcuts, automatic patterns the brain responds to without thinking. Once you understand them, you stop chasing and forcing. You become the kind of man women naturally want to be around. The first trigger is masculine presence. This isn't about looks or muscles, it's about energy. When you walk into a room, do you take up space or shrink quietly into the background? Women notice instantly. A man who moves with calm confidence, who isn't rushing or scanning for approval, sends a silent but powerful message. That grounded energy is rare, and rarity fuels attraction faster than anything you can say. Imagine being at a social event. Instead of scanning nervously, you relax. Your shoulders are back, breathing slows. You observe without tension. That shift alone changes how she sees you. Her subconscious picks up on it immediately. She feels something different, not because you tried harder, but because you're centered in yourself. The second trigger is emotional challenge. Most men agree with everything a woman says, afraid of tension. But tension isn't conflict, it's magnetic. Lightly challenging her, teasing playfully, creates polarity. Polarity sparks desire. For instance, if she says she loves waking up early, don't just agree. Smile and say, "Really? You're one of those?" It's playful, not rude. That small challenge signals confidence. It shows you're comfortable expressing yourself, and it stirs a subtle pull she can't quite put into words. You're not trying to impress her, you're engaging with her. That's what sparks attraction. Desire doesn't come from agreeing with everything, it comes from contrast, from the subtle tension that makes interactions feel alive. If this is making sense so far, hit that like button. It helps more men discover what no one ever taught them. The third trigger is selective attention. Many men get this wrong because they give too much too soon. Instant replies, canceling plans, constant availability. Her subconscious reads that as low value. A man with options isn't always at her beck and call. Being interesting, having your own life, purpose, and direction makes your time valuable. You stop orbiting her world, and suddenly she becomes curious. She's drawn to a man who has a full life, not someone who drops everything for attention. This isn't games, it's balance. Scarcity breeds intrigue naturally. The fourth trigger is intentional listening. Not just hearing words, but remembering their meaning. When you recall details she mentioned casually and bring them up later, you immediately stand out. Emotional connection grows when someone feels truly seen. For instance, if she mentions loving orchids, days later you send a photo of one and say it reminded you of her. That kind of thoughtfulness signals presence and care. When care is paired with strength, it becomes magnetic. Emotional bonding happens faster than any generic compliment ever could. The fifth trigger is calibrated vulnerability. Many men think they must appear unshakable, but perfection isn't attractive. Honesty delivered with confidence is. Sharing a real challenge or fear, without complaining or playing the victim, makes you relatable, human, grounded. Vulnerability combined with stability builds trust, and trust opens the door to desire. True strength isn't hiding flaws, it's being comfortable showing them. The sixth trigger is gradual physical touch. Research shows that light, respectful touch releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone. A brief hand on the arm while laughing, a gentle brush of the shoulder while walking, nothing forced, nothing rushed, creates positive physical association. Her brain starts connecting your presence with comfort and warmth. This depth is what separates surface-level attraction from something real and lasting. Finally, the seventh trigger, the most powerful, is controlled unpredictability. The brain loves dopamine, which comes from rewarding uncertainty. Being slightly unpredictable makes you fascinating. This isn't about being inconsistent or unreliable. It's about balance. Sometimes warm, sometimes teasing, sometimes initiating, sometimes waiting. You maintain mystery. Mystery keeps her thinking about you even when you're not around. Now you have real tools, not cheap tricks. Use them with respect, with intention. You don't need to be perfect, you need to be strategic. When you apply these triggers thoughtfully, attraction stops being something you chase. It becomes something you naturally generate. Attraction isn't about who shouts the loudest, who spends the most money, or who tries hardest to impress. It's subtle. It's a dance that happens mostly in her subconscious mind. Women aren't looking for logic. They're responding to feelings, patterns, and signals they pick up without realizing it. That's why so many men feel frustrated. They're playing by rules that don't apply. One key part of this is understanding that women are wired to notice confidence and stability more than charm or smooth words. When a man projects calm certainty, it signals that he can handle challenges, that he has his life in order. That energy alone makes him instantly more appealing. This isn't about being arrogant, it's about having grounded energy. It's about showing her, without words, that you're comfortable in your own skin, that you have a purpose beyond seeking validation. Emotional challenge is another subtle but powerful trigger. Women feel drawn to men who aren't afraid to express themselves, even if that means disagreement or playful teasing. This isn't about being combative. It's about showing that you have your own mind, your own standards, and your own boundaries. Polarity, the push and pull created by light tension, is magnetic. It keeps interactions exciting, it keeps her engaged, and it makes her want to earn your attention. Then there's the idea of selective attention and scarcity. Too many men give attention too freely, expecting it to earn affection. The truth is the opposite. When a man is living a full life, when he's pursuing goals, hobbies, friendships, and experiences beyond her, he becomes more intriguing. Scarcity isn't about gamesmanship, it's about being naturally high value. When your time is worth something, she notices. She wants to be a part of that life rather than dominate it. Intentional listening is another area where men can stand out immediately. Most men nod and smile, but very few truly remember small details she shares. Noticing these things and bringing them back later creates an emotional connection that's almost impossible to resist. It signals that you're present, that you pay attention, and that you value her mind and experiences. Women may not say it aloud, but their brains respond to it with trust, warmth, and desire. Vulnerability often scares men because society teaches them to hide weakness. But strength isn't perfection. It's honesty paired with confidence. Sharing something personal, a past challenge, a fear, or a moment of growth makes you human. It shows her you're real, and women are drawn to authenticity. They want to feel safe with a man who can be strong and gentle at the same time, who can show emotion without losing control. That combination builds trust, and trust is the foundation of desire. Physical touch is often underestimated, but it's a subtle form of communication that words can't match. A light touch here or there delivered naturally and respectfully, releases hormones that create comfort and bonding. It's not about rushing. It's about creating association between your presence and positive feelings. Over time, these small touches layer, forming a deeper connection she feels physically, emotionally, and subconsciously. Controlled unpredictability is the final piece that often separates men who are simply liked from men who are deeply desired. The brain craves novelty and small doses of uncertainty. Being slightly unpredictable keeps her engaged because she can't fully anticipate you. This isn't about being unreliable, it's about balance. Sometimes you initiate, sometimes you wait, sometimes you tease, sometimes you comfort. Mystery stimulates her curiosity and keeps her thinking about you even when you're apart. Now you have the real tools to spark attraction without chasing, forcing, or pretending to be someone you're not. Remember, it's not about perfection. It's about presence, confidence, authenticity, and knowing how to use subtle psychological triggers. When you lead with these principles, desire starts to happen naturally. Use them with respect and intention, and you'll notice the difference in how women respond to you. Attraction isn't about effort. It's about understanding how the mind really works, and now you do. If you found this helpful, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss any insights. And in the comments, type the word magnet if you're ready to step into the kind of presence that naturally draws desire. It's the word that captures everything we talked about today.